Why, hello everyone. Oh god, I'm dying. It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with the VV OMI update video. You guys are new, welcome. You're not welcome back, I love y'all. I would say hello Dashi. Hello Dashi. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. Ooh, hot dog. All right. We've got a bit to go over today. We'll start with the OMI as per usual, and then we'll head over to the rest of the market's doing. I don't even know what I titled this today, so we shall see. We can go on and take a look at OMI's up 2.7% today. Despite being up 2.7%, we are still below that 0006 mark. We are at 005991. So the chart, which again, taking a look at it again, despite it being up almost 3%, we are still looking like we're trading like a penny stock. 707,000 in volume, so it is a bit better than what do you call it? It's a little bit better than the 500,000 we had the other day. But this is something I did want to go over as well. Despite the there has been more FUD on OMI for the last 2 or 3 days, pretty much since the halving. More FUD on OMI than I've ever seen in the history of this entire project. Now, maybe in like 2020, when there was no app, there was no app at all, like from one of the groups that I'm in. It's a bunch of whales because they got, not because they put 6 figures in, but because they put a relatively okay amount of money into OMI when it was like quad 03 or quad 04. So that's how they have so much money, or that's why they have so much OMI. They said the FUD then was unreal because we didn't have an app. Excuse me. I'm gonna actually take a swig of whiskey just so that hopefully this calms the throat a bit. No, it's actually not bad. Hopefully that coats it. Oof, my heartburn already. Sorry. I'm gonna need some Tums. But yeah, you have wind the clocks back 3.5 years ago. Before we had an app, people thought this was a rug. People thought they keep telling us like things are coming and we have IP, but we're not really seeing it. We don't have an app. There's no drops, there's no revenue. Reese was not paid for like a year because, again, there's no revenue coming in. So when it went and the app finally came out, a lot of that FUD went away. A lot of that turned into heavy optimism. And once that happened, we went from quad zeros to 1-0 in like, I don't know, 6 weeks, something like that. So anyway, I do want to read something that I had wrote before we get started here. I'm sure everyone here's seen it by now, but I want to go and take a quick read at that before we get to it. Maybe I should read some of the other stuff because I haven't actually talked about anything in live in a little while. So yeah, I'll read a couple of things. Oh god, excuse me. One thing will be from 2 days ago, saying I've seen a lot of frustration with the OMI token in this bear market. Much of it comes as we've entered the bull market and the token's current utility, staking for bronze tickets MCP points, isn't the utility that most people are excited for. Oh, guys, I'm gonna have to end this early. I can't stop coughing. I did a spaces before today and the same thing happened. But most of the staking for bronze tickets and MCP points isn't the utility that people are most excited for, and the price staying where it is. I understand that it's hard to see everything else run up while OMI stays down, but I also understand that the night is darkest just before the dawn. And I promise you, the dawn is coming. Might not be for several weeks or even several months, but there will come a time when the stars align, the narrative changes, and things are much brighter than they are right now. I've been pretty vocal about the team rolling out a few things by the time Q2 is up, but be advised that just because VV executes and rolls out Veveverse, an exchange or two, OMI burns new IP, new verticals, and more, it doesn't mean that the price will move automatically. Seen this happen with Tesla for 6 years, from 2013 to 2019. Company made new vehicles, sold everything it made more money, and built new factories. And the price didn't move the entire time. What happened was that the narrative changed. More people started seeing the company using its profits to grow, and that Tesla was safer and performing better than any other vehicle. And then the price skyrocketed, made everyone a lot of money. Sure, you can sell your OMI now, lock in your losses, and chase green candles. And it's likely that you'll make some money in the short term if there's no correction. I think there was a bit of a correction the last few days. But just like the narrative changed for electric vehicles and Tesla in 2019, the narrative will change for digital collectibles, where VV is currently number one and stands to gain the most in the space. And thus, the OMI token should rise at a commensurate rate. I'm not saying not to diversify or to not be upset, but just that my faith in the team is unmatched, and I will continue to add more money to the ecosystem because I believe they will make me millions. I do have a couple more of these things to kind of go through. I'll say again, the past 24 hours have probably been the biggest flood storm for OMI in its history, and the price barely changed. I won't say this is the bottom, confirmed, but I do think that this is a pretty good accumulation zone. Could we go lower? Absolutely. Could we be down here for several more months? Of course. Always a chance of more unforeseen bumps in the road, leading to more delays. But I know this company, I know the team, and I know the community. I'm not worried at all. I'm much more excited today than I was 1 year ago because the VV app works better, is more fun, and there's more to come. I can't wait to get back to work so I can make more money, so I can grab more OMI in the future. I also can't wait to see the gains we get by the end of the year. One last thing I'll read. Oh God, I'm dying. Before we get down to the VV news, and then I'll go and answer questions. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, this is good. Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Here's a quick story on how and why I put in over $500,000 into VV and OMI. Yeah, too strong with it. In 2016, there were many senior enlisted who tried to get me to stay in the military because, according to people that had never been in the job market, it was hard out there. So in January 2017, I started college, got straight A's, and had a part-time job. In the summer, I got a full-time job at a private bank, my first job in finance. I had around $2,000 to my name. And whereas people could be complicated and tricky, once I saw numbers, everything made sense. Within a few weeks, I immediately opened up my own business underneath their umbrella, and absolutely nobody believed I would make any money. Once I started to, I immediately began lending it out to business owners that had 500 and 600 credit scores. Everyone told me I'd lose all the money I'd started making, and to their credit, I had next to nothing to show for it because everything went into these high-risk lending deals. Hey, thank you for the super chat. Oh, by the way, if you guys super chat me, I'll read it right away. You're not going to have to wait. I'll get to every comment in general, but if you super chat, I'll go in and answer your question right away. In 2018, when I had 2 organs fail within 4 months of each other, I was in the hospital and I decided to fulfill a childhood dream and started buying Pokemon cards. All first edition, all PSA 10. Everyone told me I was an idiot for spending my hard-earned cash on children's cardboard, but just like the numbers on people's bank accounts, the sales and circulating supply and patterns all made sense to me. Oh, hang on. I'll blow my nose real quick. Sorry, still a tad sick, even though I do feel much better. Moving on. In 2019, my good friend, you've seen him on the podcast, Daniel Hardwick. He was the one that kind of took me under his wing in the high-risk lending business. Again, he's been on the podcast. Daniel Hardwick is a brother of mine, hero of mine, love him. But he was a good friend that got me into stocks. Uber, Apple, Google, Facebook, Fastly, Fang, etc. I never did a deep dive on a company until I saw a video of Elon Musk. Well, thank you, Conor. I like how he thought like me and was disrupting the entire industry. I learned more about the Tesla company than 99.9% of people on Earth, and started selling my blue chip stocks so I could buy Tesla, something that was a big no-no in the financial world. This is where everyone told me I was going to lose my shirt. The company stock hadn't moved in 6 years. They weren't profitable. The CEO had mental health issues. Their cars went on fire, and everyone was fudding. How could they not see it? I finally had 100,000 in assets at this time, which is a 50x gain from 2.5 years prior. But I threw all my money in Tesla because of what Elon and what he was doing. In 2020, during the K-shaped recovery we had, I saw the deal of a lifetime. A PSA 10 Trophy Kangaskhan, one of the rarest Pokemon cards in the world, in the highest grade that you can get it in. The last time this card sold, it was $25,000. Me and the seller reached an agreement for $80,000, more than 3 times the previous sale. I started selling most of my collection for it, and absolutely everyone on God's green earth told me I was an idiot, even people in the Pokemon community. So much money had gone into the base set cards. Why didn't they think that money would flow into trophy cards? Seen it before, but people didn't follow the pattern. Didn't they know I've been right about these kinds of things before? I thought, when will people finally believe in me? In 2021, I found the VV official company and their OMI token. That card I spent $80K on the year prior, I sold for $279,000. It was the greatest flip in Pokemon history and still is the highest sale for that card to this day. And it all went into OMI. The stocks I sold also went into VV and the Akomi ecosystem. And later that year, I finally became a millionaire. It stayed that way through part of 2022 until Russia invaded Ukraine. I had never sold throughout the entire bear market and only dollar cost average since. Nowadays, everyone on X, YouTube, Reddit, etc. calls me a joke, clown, moron, and other synonyms for trash. Maybe they don't know my history. It's clear they can't see what I see, but I've been here multiple times before. And that's why it's easy to hold. Because just like all those times before, I know what's coming. So that built a, a little bit of traction today. Just kind of my thoughts and why I have so much confidence. A lot of people have been messaging and asking, hey, are you okay? Is everything all good? Is FUD getting to you? I didn't really verbalize this. I told it to a friend of mine earlier today. I was like, listen, I I love people and people are great. But if back in the, I was a veterinarian assistant for about 9 years before I joined the military. And, in that there's some days that you see more death than life. And you really gotta get your emotions under control. It's really not professional when, client comes in, really sad, dog dies, and if you start crying, it's not a good look. So I got really good at shutting down emotions. And military made that even easier. Made me a little bit harder. So I do see people, again, I love people and they're great, but a lot of times I do see them as bits of data. And I forget what show this is. It's the wife from Dexter, Rita, she's like a teacher, and there's this kind of fat bitchy girl that is in class, and she's like, you could be a skinny bitch or you could be fat and happy, but you cannot be a fat bitch. And again, her words, not mine. But when I see people out there that's funny, I cannot recall a time where somebody was talking down to me or making fun of me or calling me names or whatever that was more successful than me. Maybe it's happened behind my back, I don't know, but I can never recall a time where that had happened. It's always the people that are too lazy to do it themselves, that are too hard on themselves. So like, oh, I'm not doing it, he's doing it. There must be something wrong with him because I'm not doing it. So they are really hard on themselves. So, I see it in one of two ways. You can be useful and mean. It's like, okay, I'll take the punishment if as long as you, connect me with someone, you're a good resource. Or you could be, I am for super chat. Or you could be, nice and not smart. If you're nice, if you're a good person, I don't care what you do, man. If you're a janitor, if you're if you just low IQ dumb, it doesn't matter. If you're a good person, I love you. And if you're super smart, you could be a little mean, you could be a little, whatever. Um, that's fine. I can at least learn something from you. There's something I can get out of that. But if you're mean and just low IQ, like if you're just dumb, I like what purpose do you serve like this world? What purpose do you serve any of us? So it's really easy for me to go and say like, okay, well this person's being a dick, and this person is, really doesn't have the best life. They don't have really anything to show for their lives. Like, why am I going to take that seriously? Why am I going to take something that somebody says to heart? If I mean, ask I don't know, a good buddy of mine, Jonathan. He's a carpenter, wicked good at carpentry, can build a house like that. I'm not going to ask his opinion on quantum or theoretical physics. I mean, sure, he might have an opinion on quarks or fermions or whatever, but it's not going to mean much because that's not his specialty. Most of the people that are fudding, most of the people that can't see the forest through the trees, um, they're just not successful. They're just not. They don't have that. And again, I'm not. I'm kind of generalizing here. There are people that have healthy criticisms, like, "Hey, Vivi, you haven't delivered on this. Hey, Akomi, you promised more stuff by now, and we don't have it. What's going on?" Okay, that's fine. If you want to call them slow, if you want to call them, lack of communication, that's fine. That's true. But if you kind of be like, "Yo, Omi's a rug," or like, these people are selfish and all they care about is money, like that's silly, and you don't know what you're talking about. So again, it's been kind of said on Twitter or on X, like, "Hey, why is Randy Chavez taking the brunt of this force? Why is the Vivi or Akomi team not communicating?" And I'll say this. Oh, maybe I shouldn't. um, when you have somebody that's willing to go out there and willing to like take the brunt of the hate and the FUD, let them do it. Like, let them let them do it. There's I was commenting on one of Biscuits' statuses before, and Biscuits had said, "Oh Jesus, I'm dying." She didn't say that. I'm saying that. I should see if I can find it. I don't know if it was a status or it was a retweet or requote or something like that. Um, shit, I can't type. Oh God, I'm lit. All right. Man, one of the quotes was in real. Oh, hey, there's Bill Gardner saying, "Randy, the man, the myth, the legend." Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Cheers, mate. Cheers. So, I love you, Bill. Biscuit says, "In reality, if people want to be mad at Randy and Randy is being the punching bag for Akomi, they should really be mad at the company for lack of transparency and communication. Akomi could easily cut down on the backlash to Randy if it's true that they are just waiting until having." So, what I think she means by that is like, "Hey, Randy's kind of taking the brunt of this. Why aren't you kind of saving Randy and just saying something?" Listen, I'll bring it back to Star Wars Episode One, where Viceroy Gunray gets off the Telegram like video chat uh, with Lord Sidious, and he gets off, and his partner says, "You didn't tell him about the missing Jedi," and Viceroy Gunray says, "No need to report that to him until there is something to report." And it makes sense. Vivi or Comey has had this last 6 months them going saying they didn't really talk about MCP points a lot or staking for MCP points. They had just gone on and said season zero. They just rolled out. They said, "Here's an article. You're going to get this in 10 days." We got it like a week later. We didn't really hear much about staking for bronze tickets. We knew that some type of bronze tickets things were going to come out, but staking for bronze tickets, we literally got that article a week, maybe 10 days before it went live. And then it went live. So from what they're doing, they're kind of taking Viceroy Gunray's play, and they're saying, all right, no need to go and talk about things until we're right up on them, like a week or two before they roll out. And there are, let's say if we're all Pokemon, right? And follow me on this for a second. If we're all Pokemon and the Akomi team is made up of flying type Pokemon, they're made up of fighting, psychic, ground, fairy, whatever. There's going to be a certain part of them that are, let's say, or let's say, they have weaknesses, whether it's fire, water, grass, electric. And if there's somebody like Randy Chavez, who's a Spiritomb that has no weakness, there are no moves that are super effective against Spiritomb. Okay, well, if these FUD attacks are going towards Randy and they're just sliding off and they're not affecting him, why would we go and say something to now subject ourselves to the FUD where certain people might not have that mental fortitude? And again, I go and I do this for free. I do this for my own. Well, I mean, I get paid. People super chat, whatever. But I do it of my own volition, and I will 100% do. I will do that all day. I'd much rather the FUD and everything come towards me than towards anyone else that might take it to heart or might take it personally. I'm not the one delaying. I'm not taking it personally. Oh God, I'm dying. Okay, I'm not dying. Oh, maybe I am. I don't know. So that's kind of that. I'm trying to think of what else I said today. Let me go to the all right, 8:30 going onto the maybe all right, what could they do moving forward? So there is a lot that Vivi and Omi could do moving forward. I mentioned this the other day. I think it was on a video. Yeah, I haven't gone live in a little while, so I think it was on a video. Ooh, I have to go back to. Oh, there's a bunch of news to go over as well. I got a little bit to go over today. But I'll do this from memory. Oh God, go now. I think it would behoove Akomi to go out and not necessarily become a public company, not necessarily go and say, hey, you can buy shares in us. We'll publish our profit and loss, our balance sheet. You have all the itemized breakdowns, Q1, 2Q, 2Q3, Q4. What we own, who owns us, what our resource allocation is going to. Because if y'all remember, y'all remember this day, as the day Randy Chavez coughed himself to death. If y'all remember about, I don't know, 3 years ago, in 2021, the app was very, very buggy. And where did Vivi go and get people to upgrade the app? It wasn't a team like Colex. It wasn't people from Apple or Google. It was, I don't know this for certain, but based on the Immutable X migration, where it came out that their code was spaghetti code, they likely got guys from India, contracted from there. Where now, I'll get to what they could do as far as coding and Copilot and stuff, but they did not have a good they did not have a good time. They did not have good people working on the app in 2021. Despite that, bunch of licenses, everything was great. It was bull market, everything was pumping, despite some of the setbacks we had. But Vivi learned their lesson when they used less than reputable people to code their app. So in order for people to get confidence restored in Vivi and Akomi, if they show the breakdown of what the resource allocation is going to, we know they have an MCP team. We know they have a blockchain team. We know they're working together to make OUP and MCP form into that utility program. That's great. We know they're paying for Viviverse. You have maybe 100 employees. If you break down to what the positions are, what they're being paid, and what other things that they're doing, what's actually their margins? I don't know, 60% margins. It's got to be more than 30. It's got to be at least, God, I would say 60% margins. At least for from gross to whatever. I know you have to pay for stuff, but I think if they can show people that they're good at spending money and they're good at resource allocation, that gives people a whole new wave of confidence. Hey, they know what the heck they're doing. Like I typically never invested in companies that gave a dividend. Why? Because if you give a dividend, that tells me that you do not know what you're doing with your money and you don't know what to spend it on. So you're just going to give it back to some people. I almost never, I don't think I did ever purchase anything with any type of dividend because of that reason. One of the other things that, and again, I mentioned mentioned this in a video the other day, but they were worth billions. You know, it had, I think from Vanity Fair, I don't know what the exact calculations were, but VV told me that it was like it was a multi-billion-dollar company, like 3 billion, 3.5, well, whatever it was. Imagine being worth, let's go conservative, let's say 3 billion. Imagine being able to sell what 10%, you get $300 million. Just sell 5% of the company and you make $150 million. Do whatever you want with. That is a year, 2 years worth of drops in one day you get. And again, I'm not, you could do that and then you could afford to hire proper people to scale at a decent size. And again, I'm sure they've done that from all of the funds that they've gotten from the drops, just from us, the secondary market, the main store, scale at a decent size. And what a lot of people do, I saw this at NFT NYC in 2022. People went and they convinced these VCs, y'all heard of the blockchain? I can tell you about the blockchain. And they go through the rigmarole, they go through this elevator pitch saying this is what we can do and this is how we get paid on it forever with the secondary market, these smart contracts, and enforcing them where we get paid on these forever, even if we don't make any new product. And VCs get starry-eyed because they didn't know the technology, and like, oh, you're not just in crypto, you're in NFTs. This is blowing up. You got a game plan, you got a white paper, you got all of this, and they can make some funky marketing and saying, look, listen, and we saw this happen in 2021. Let's say something's worth one ETH. One ETH, at time, I don't know, was it $4,000? ETH for this NFT, this was worth $10,000 or 5 ETH. 5 ETH was 2,000 at the time. So if it's 5 ETH, it's $10,000. Now you'd think as the price of ETH goes up, let's say it goes to $4,000, which it did, this would only be worth 2.5 ETH now because of the way that ETH was priced. But it didn't. The price didn't just stay the same, it actually went up. So the price of ETH was going up, and the amount of ETH that this was worth was going up as well. So I know I could have probably made $10 million, $30, $50 million in those pitches. I didn't, and I'll forever regret that. But that's what people would say. VCs would get starry-eyed and be like, okay, this is it. We're putting in every single company that I had ran into that wanted me to make videos for them had raised $1 to $2 million. They had a run rate of, I don't know, like a year and a half. And, they had no product. They had an idea of a product. And I was like, listen, the goal with that is, with really any company, is to go and take that, slam as much against the wall as possible. Whatever sticks, they stick. You do another series, you do a Series A funding round. You get 5, you get $10 million, whatever. Then, like John Kreese said in Cobra Kai, we grow by downsizing, or we whatever he says, growing by downsizing, growing by cutting. And just, how do you do that? Well, you can have a lower market. You could have a smaller budget than you did the first half, but now you could outsource it. Now you don't need good people. You don't need Americans. You don't need super intelligent. You can go to India, you can go to the Philippines, you can go and get some of these second, third class coders, and they could use Copilot, which is like a 3x lever. And you could go and have one good person manage all of these not so good people. And the run rate's going to be cut in half. And now you could go for, this $5-10 million can last you for like 5 years. And I'm not saying that VV should have done that, this $5 to $10 million is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about $100 million or more that VV could have gotten, 150 million. Um, and now that they know what works and doesn't work, they could use that type of stuff. And I feel like I'm getting a little off the beaten path here, so I'm going to try to speed this up. In like my open letter to Akomi the other day, in case you didn't watch it, I said like, listen, Mr. Beast is really good at marketing, and I've talked about this with David before about the ambassador programs. Like, Mr. Beast made a burger restaurant with a burger that was not good. Like the first burger that they made was very subpar, but it was insanely successful. You want to know why? It's because he's an influencer with a billion followers. And he did the same thing with the Mr. Beast chocolate bar. I've had that chocolate bar. It is trash. So why is it the number one chocolate bar in America? Because he has a billion followers. Why did Penn Gaming buy Barstool Sports? Because they needed content creators. Why Akomi hasn't launched an ambassador program or bought a content creation company is absolutely beyond me. And these are one of the things that they could do to get. David said on an interview, I don't know how many months ago, that he wants to have, like several 100,000 users, in the next couple of years by 2025. How do you go and you get that? You don't get that just by doing the same old thing where the user rate has been declining. And I get it, bear market, the narrative will change, bull market, whatever. But influencers are a lot more efficient at building and distributing consumer goods because they have a built-in distribution system. So if you want more users to reach David's goal, that type of thing is a must. So, oh God, I'm going down here. So those are some of the things that they could do. They could sell part of their company, which I know now, let's say they were just worth $1 billion. Still, sell 10%, you still get 100 million. You can sell 5%, get 50 million, do whatever. This way you can go and do what I said. Imagine what they could do with $50 million. I'll go over. Excuse my language. I'll go over a little bit of the news here, and then I'll get to the questions. Apple Vision Pro had a trailer the other day saying that they're releasing on 2 February, and the Apple Vision Pro Get Ready trailer, 18 I counted of the IPs in there, or the characters that they had, we had. So that was really, really fun to take a watch and see, oh, Apple Vision Pro is talking about all of these things that we already have. I wonder what's going to be available on Apple Vision Pro eventually. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. We had somebody go and get he bought a number 77 Frozone and a number 888 Marceline for 200 for less than $300. Marceline is really great just because she is one of the first ultra rares. Oh my God, I don't know what's wrong. I can't stop coughing. It's one of the first ultra rares for Cartoon Network. People really love her. Her and the Ice King have an incredibly amazing relationship. And number 888 is just special. Be advised, when we had Cartoon Network, we didn't have like the American Cartoon Network. We had the Japanese version of Cartoon Network. That's why, or the Chinese version. It was only available in China. So you had that for, what was it? Adventure Time, and then you had it for Powerpuff Girls. Oh my God. Oh, I'm going down. Where was I? So to get those, and again, 888 is really, really special in the East, over in Asia. Really good luck. So, that's why you have the secret rares of the stamps of the, like the Year of the Rabbit or Year of the Tiger, whatever. Those stamps end the secret rare 888. There's 888 editions because it's a big thing with them. Oh God. So again, there are deals to be had. And all right, here's another thing. We have had a bunch of a bunch of big sales recently. We had a $25,000 sale for the 1923, 1924, 1923 partner statue. That's when Disney was founded. Crazy. He founded that at 22 years old. Absolutely nuts. So 25,000 is nothing to sneeze at. And then you also have 12,500 for one of 7 Aston Martins. And then those one of ones, those artist proofs, those are still bought. Those still come out every single week, and those are bought like nobody's business. What do we have yesterday? Oh my troubles. It was over 7,000. So what was it? Nick Caffey, Needley? I forget actually who had it, but he had won, and it was $7,100 for the number 1 Wolverine here. And this is actually from the movie. I mean, it's from a comic book, but it's from the movie X-Men Origins Wolverine, and that's the one where he uses his claws to kind of turn around on a motorcycle, and then messes up this plane. It's really cool. But again, like $7,000, you can go and get a sub 100 partner statue. $7,000, you can get Secret Rare Spider-Man. You can get almost like 2. You can almost get 2 gold and silver Vivi logos. You can't get a Miles Morales. Miles Morales is like 11,000. He's a lot, but there's just a lot you can do with $7,000. You can get over 10 million OMI for $7,000. And the fact that people are spending this on one of ones, there's not a lot of secondary action for one of ones. There's not a lot of but again, these whales keep on going, and they're spending record amounts of money. Why are our vault values still going down? Well, I'll tell you. All right, what did I go and say? 1 out of 7 Aston Martin. Crazy partner statue, a 1 of 1. What whales are doing is they're taking a look at what has stood the test of time, and they're looking at IP. All right, Aston Martin, it's scarce. Everyone loves it. I distinctly remember, I don't know if it was a commercial or it was in a magazine. It had this beautiful woman at like the kitchen counter making coffee, and she's in lingerie, and oh my god, she was gorgeous. And the text under it read like, "You're not the first, but do you really care? Rent an Aston Martin today." Meaning like, oh hey, you're not the first person to have this, but do you really care? No, you don't care. It's an Aston Martin. It's freaking awesome. And obviously that was an allegory for you're not the first person to be intimate with this woman. And anyway, yeah, no, you don't care at that point. Aston Martin is extremely good at marketing. It's extraordinarily good at being a brand that is considered top tier. And partner statue, the only time Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse were together on screen was in a video that came out last year. It was the Disney 100, where they got a bunch of the characters to interact with each other and do a photo, it's like a 7-minute video, whatever, to do a photo for the 100 years. And that was the only time that Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse were literally on screen together. So when they posted out this partner statue, 25, 30 years ago, whatever, or whatever year it came out, that was something special. So to have this, a double first appearance for Mickey Mouse, like that's super special. It makes sense that somebody spends $25,000 on something that is a really good mint. Why people's vault value is going down? Maybe because other people are going and they are selling the stuff that's maybe not as good for the grails, but they're going for the grails. They're going for the partner statue. They're going for the Todds and the Risos, going for the Secret Rare Spider-Man, both Peter Parker and Miles Morales. They're going for the gold and silver Vivi logo, the Aston Martins, the new Lamborghinis. That's what's happening. Yes, you have Vivi that's continuously making millions of dollars per month. Is it like the 8 million per month that we were getting 2 years ago? No. But are they still making multiple millions per month? Yes. And that's what it's going into. And I'm not saying that we won't get money flowing into things that are less attractive. I mean, if you have like Bigfoot, in the Cryptkins, that's like $5 or $6. Yeah, that's probably going to go up a little bit. Some things that are super. Now, I'm not expecting to do that like a 20x whatever. I'm not saying to go and load up on Bigfoots. Um, most likely that'll be outperformed by Todd's and stuff like that. But I expect Todd to do a lot more than that. But that's why, despite all the money going in and despite record sales happening, is why vault value is going down. So that's one of the things I want to go. And I'll go over this one other thing. I know I've been going on 40 minutes before I get to questions, but it's in the thumbnail, so I feel like I have to go over it. You do have some big sellers too. Lutito sold 107 collectible. Lucky Ruby Rocky sold 109 collectible. Beer Guy 33 sold almost 200, sold 190. Now you have Gold Rich, the number 22 wallet, bought 147 collectibles. That's really great. You have Colonel Stats, which bought 232 collectibles. Also really great. The Zoj Man buying 837 collectibles. Now he has 42,000. Second nuts. And then, the most positions climb. You have Standoff Chart that bought an extra 73 collectibles. He climbed 26 spots, number 302. You have people that go and they are, why are video games easy at the beginning? Why is Pokemon easy at the beginning? Why is it more fun at the beginning? Because you're constantly gaining levels. From when you get your starter to going to Viridian City to get the Oaks parcel to bring it back, you gain a level or two just by doing a simple side quest task. Well, I mean, it's the main, but you have to do that to move forward. But you gain like 1 or 2 levels by doing that without even doing. You gain 1 level just from the rival battle. You go from level 5 to level 6, and then by the time you get back to Professor Rogue, you're level 7. Hey, you're well on your way. It's easy. Why? Because you get that dopamine rush. Oh, I not only gained a level, but I gained +2 attack and 1 defense and all this, and you get to see like all the, and that gives you that serotonin dump. You get that the dopamine receptors just firing off cylinders, and that's why things are addicting. Because it feels like you're winning again, feels like you're doing well, and this is why VV is addictive. It's not impossible. It's not hard. It's simple to go and be in the top 500 wallets, and you get recognized every week by me that talks about it, and by Noldor Live that keeps doing this, and then just that master collector. You know, I mean, people go and they get they can call it what it want. You collect what you love, and it's great. I only really collect what I love now. But um, did this person go and get the new Lamborghini STO, whatever it's called, or the 107 Aston Martin because they love it and it's their favorite car and they have emotional attachment to it? Or did they get it for the flex? When you're a master collector, you're getting what, like 800 something MCP points a day. Well, how are you doing that? You had to have put at least 5 figures into the app. Oh, maybe not. You could have like 600 points that you get really just from staking 10 million OMI. But again, you need to have put at least $6,000 into that, in order to get that. So it's like, okay, what master collector? Why is that cool? It just shows that you go and you put a certain amount of money in there. Why was it considered fashionable or hot or sexy, 400 years ago to have a little bit of a gut, to have a little bit of a belly? Nowadays, like, that is dumb. Like, that's, like, well, dad bods, it's fine, whatever, but it's not considered attractive. Why was it attractive 400 years ago? Because it showed that you could afford to eat well. It showed that you were just a top tier earner and a top tier person to go and say, like, hey, I can afford to do this. This is all willy nilly. You're not going to go and put, tens of thousands or tens of thousands into a token or an app if you're working paycheck to paycheck. You can only do that if you have so much extra that you could just put on there. So, you have that flex and you have that addiction. Hey, you're only getting, let's say, 700 points a day. But if you spend a couple dollars here, a couple dollars there, and you get, these comics, suddenly you're getting 750 a day. And it's nice to see that number go up. And If anyone's ever seen girl math on TikTok, well, I had $40 cash, so this meal that was $40, it didn't really cost me anything. It was free because it was cash. It didn't come out of my account. It was cash. Girl math. Okay, well, what's boy math? Boy math is like, oh, I'm not spending the cash. It's just coming out of my account. I don't see it leaving me. It's not that hard to spend a couple hundred gems. You go on, you buy a couple of common comics for less than $2. You can buy comics for like $1.70, $1.80, or some even less per comic. But you get MCP points for buying. You get MCP points for holding. And if you have 1,300 something collectibles, you can get in that top 500 wallet. You don't need to go and spend tens of thousands of dollars to get five. Like you can go and specifically do it with 1,400 comics. It will cost you less than $3,000 to get the top 500 wallets. You could just do. Oh, you might not be able to do that. Let's say $3, $39, less than $4,000. You'll get in there because there's only so many comics that you can buy for sub $2. There's not 1,300 of them. But let's say there's a lot at $2, $2.20, $2.50. There's a couple collectibles that are at $2. So, what is $4,000 to someone to be in the top 500? You can be like, hey, Veves a $1 billion company. It'll be multi-billion again. It's worth 10 figures, and I'm in the top 500 wallets. I'm the top 500 accounts in this $1 billion company. And I get it. Like, okay, so you're kind of reaching there. That's the type of stuff that people care about. Bill Garrison. Speaking of addiction, you want to see the price of the addiction comic? Comic is going crazy. So, all right, let's take a look. Oh God, I'm so sorry. I don't have. Someone called me. Oh, it's my boy Tony. What's up? Because I assume you, but because you're like that. And woman, give me a call back when you get a chance. I'll give. Oh man. I'll get back to these messages in a bit. I'm dying. I have not gone to the doctor yet. My cough be killing me. Oh wow. Yay. Yeah. Send it to me so I can subscribe. Oh God. I don't know what this is. I will look up the addiction comic now though. Okay, addiction. I'm a dick. I'm addicted to you. All right, it's not showing up on the market, and I'm not sure why. All right, I'll go to the market and just search the comics. I think the number 2, Vincent Zerzolo, the addiction comic number 2 is coming out at some point. I don't know when, but we'll see it. Ooh, I don't have a. I don't see it. It's going to take me forever to find, so I'll find it at some point. But let's get to the comments now. It's been a while. Oh God. Conor saying hi. Meow meow meow. Oscar F. Give me those eyes. Dog boy saying Randy. I just can't see. Oh, I'm so excited. Unreal Chandy Raves is the imposter. Impersonates me once again. Oh, what up, dude? Hi, Randy and Dashi. Greetings from Vienna. I feel like you're not a real account, Suvi. Maybe you are. Conor, what up? What up? Walrus King. I was saying, hi, Randy. Hey, fam. How's it going? I'm trying not to cough, and I feel not great. Let's see what we got. Conor saying, Randy, a real Randy. Happy to see you. Oh, happy to see you too. Prince Toby. Saying, I can't believe the sheer amount of Randy Chavez memes coming out lately. As an OG memer of Randy Chavez, it brings a tear to my eyes. I found this gold mine of hilarity from this man. Oh, dude, you're gonna get on my Snapchat now. You gotta. OG, Randy, Chavez, memers, meet, new, Randy, Chavez, memers. Oh God, I keep putting Tandy. I'm not a Tandy. I'm a Randy. It's like that episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob and Patrick are wrestling, and then SpongeBob goes and erases part of Patrick's name. Instead of his name tag saying Patrick, it says Rick. And then Patrick goes, "My name's not Rick." Oh, thank you for the super chats, y'all. I mean the world. Did someone really Pokemon cards, children's card? Yeah, dude. That was like a meme back in the day where all of us that were on was called E4. E4 is short for Elite Four, and it was a big place to go just talk about Pokemon cards. Um, that was a big meme. Like there was multiple of us that were made fun of because like you're buying children's cardboard. Like somebody told you you were buying children's cardboard. Somebody told me I was buying children's cardboard. So it was a meme back in like 2018. Yeah. JKRB says, can't wait to party with VV fam when Omi goes back to all-time highs. Heck yeah, girl. Alex Mo says, you're a fucking legend, Randy Chavez. Thanks, man. Jan Eric Kodore says, Amen, Chavez. Amen. Always bet on you, Randy. So there's a show called Hell on Wheels where there's this guy from Mississippi called Cullen Bohannon. You know, he'd be talking like this. You know, be like, it made me think, you know, that Mississippi slang, that little twang. Anyway, in one of the later seasons, he starts working for another railroad, and the foreman on his old railroad, the old job, they're like kind of at a race to like the middle. And at night, in the middle of the night, he meets with the new foreman, who he's known for a while, and he's like, "Listen, we got to put up, you know, how many miles of railroad? You only got to put out X amount of railroad. Looking like you guys are, you know, going to do it." And then the guy who's very Irish, he goes on, and he's known Colin Bohannon for, you know, like the 5 seasons that it goes, and he says, "Well, listen, the one thing I know is you never bet against Colin Bohannon." Uh, and that line has always stuck with me since I saw it X amount of years ago, where I said, like, well, listen, you know, people can make their bets, they can play their games. I'm going to bet on myself because I'm the hardest worker I know. Maybe David and Dan, and maybe Jeremy Pador, maybe they're probably harder workers, but from, listen, like 2019 through 2021, but like 2020, like there was very few people on the planet that was working harder than I was. And obviously I'm not working as hard anymore, but I was literally working like 90 hours a week. So, you know, I will always bet on myself because I know what I can do. And like, I know people that like, they work part-time and they're like, oh, I need a nap. You know, like it's just people have different levels of energy. And I was blessed that I was born with super high energy and super high endurance where I could work 90 hours a week, and it sucks. You know, you hate your life, but man, it's fun. Um, I will always bet on me. Again, that high risk lending business, you had people that had gone on, and it was normal to have like a 15 or even 20% default rate. I had a less than 1% default rate because I was that good. Whatever, you know, there's an episode of Gilmore Girls where Richard Gilmore, the grandfather in that, says like, she's Rory. Whatever she tackles, she conquers. And you know, talking about his granddaughter, I'm one of those people that I might not be super good at it at first, but if I can do it enough, I will develop a system. I'll improve on it, and I will be the best at that job, at that system, at that whatever you want. Whether it was, you know, veterinary work, whether it was, you know, military, what private investigating. I literally found formulas in Pokemon that nobody else had ever found. I was the one that invented them. I found the same thing with some VV NFTs that you can still use to this day. Um, there are I will put me against almost anyone else on the planet. And I know I'm, pat myself on the back here. I know I'm like kind of like, oh, okay, Randy, go jerk yourself off more. Like I get it, but literally back that up with facts. Prana, what's going on? Hang on a second, guys. All right, unmute. What's up, Prana? Aaron, thank you for the super chat. 1,000. Meow, meow, meow. Big J78 says, "Love your conviction, man. You never let the trolls bring you down." Yeah, no, I mean, it's silly too. I mean, what are the trolls really doing? Like, if you're trolling something or being like negative, like you're not being productive. And if you're not being productive, you're likely not somebody that brings a lot of value to wherever you go. And you're probably never the smartest one in the room, and you probably leech off things. So yeah, it doesn't make sense to take what the futters or haters say to heart because why would you? Oops, I typed 1,000 in the message. It's all good. I'll check gaming what's going on. Osmos, love you, brother. Love you guys too. You guys are great. You guys are so there's a couple of people that are leaving YouTube, and I don't mean BB, I mean like in general, there are people like Matt Pat from Game Theorist. That's just a theory. Game theory. That are leaving YouTube, and I've kind of thought about, okay, when would I leave YouTube? Clearly, Vivian and Comey need me right now, but um, I'm like one of the biggest YouTubers, not because I'm the best. It's not. It's just because I do it more consistently than anyone, and I bring a certain perspective to the table, and that's it. But eventually, I won't be. Eventually, there'll be somebody that has even more time than I do, and they will put out more content, and they'll bring something to the table. They'll be retired, and they'll be like, "Hey, I can do this," and that'll be the new shiny toy. And I feel like already people are kind of getting tired of Randy Chavez. Again, I'm here now and I'm prevalent now because that there's no one better. Well, I don't want to say there's no one better. There's no one here to do it as consistently. Um, everyone brings something to the table that's unique. It doesn't matter who they are. They all bring something to the table that's unique. Again, Crypto Rain, Dr. Stuff, Sleeping Comics, and a plethora of other people bring so much more to the table than I could in a completely unique and different way. But most of them have families and full-time jobs, and they just can't do it the way that I can. So for right now, I'm not the YouTuber that you want, but I'm the one that you need right now, and that is fine. I'll wear that until there's a scene in Live Free or Die Hard. Bruce Willis and Justin Long, they have a conversation about why Bruce Willis does the things that he does. Why is he the one that has to be the hero? Why is he the one that has to go and do all this dangerous stuff? And Bruce Willis says, "Listen, kid, if there was somebody else left to do it, I would let them do it, believe me. But there's not, so I'm here to do it." Once we have that, once we have, and again, all of the YouTubers combined, Confusion Ha, and I could disappear and it'd be fine. The company would go on as it was. But eventually, when they roll out the ambassador program or referral program, whatever they want to call it, and they go and they say, "Hey," suddenly they have everyone, their sister, making content, doing whatever, and suddenly OMI's at a couple cents, and I have multiple millions of dollars, and I want to start on the animal charity. That's the whole reason why. Um, I live the way I do, and why I invest the way I do is to make as much money as I can for animals. Once I'm able to leave and that starts, that's likely what I'm going to do. It's going to be hard to build a giant charity foundation, and still cover VV and OMI. And that will likely be within the next 2 years. That'll likely be within the next like 12, 15 months. Now, could I go and, I originally didn't really want to go and start these ventures until like 2030, but I think it would be a little silly for me not to, considering, I'll have millions of dollars, and I feel like I should definitely start it, at that point, even if it's earlier than I wanted to. Yeah, so I'll do this as long as I can, but there's going to come a time where, okay, Chavez, you have three, five, however many million, $10 million. You got to start this charity, and at that time, you know, I might not be here. I'll be doing other stuff, but we'll see. I'll keep y'all posted. Prince always says this man has an iron will. Bro is gonna tear the sweaty Cheetos eating fudge from their mom's basement and clown them. Bravo, brother. Preach, preach, Prince Toby. All right, the myth, the legend. What's going on? Should we get a drink? Should I get another drink? I just had a little bit in here. Maybe I'll get another one. All right, I'll bring you guys with me. There's a song, I forget who sings it. It's called If You Go Down, I'm Going Down Too. It's a country song. Reminds me of Nastascia. Where's the. Hey, Nick. Okay. Okay. We're just gonna get a little bit of screwball because my boy is my man. He's not my man. He's my friend Meg's man. But you know what I mean. We're gonna do a little bit of the pour. Remember that trope in what's it called, Family Matters, where Steve Urkel would be pouring something and someone would ask him a question and he'd be like, "Shh, not while I'm pouring." It was a fun little thing that they did every now and then. Anywho, the man, the myth, the legend. I do hope that I am remembered. I think that everyone at some point wants to be remembered. I mean, that's also partially why I do this as well. If let's say there's a woman out there that has a secret little Randy Chavez child running around, I think it would be they're like, "Hey, he's your dad." It's like, "Oh, okay. Well, it's a good way if I do have kids and say I die young. Hey, here's what he used to think like. Here's what he used to joke about. Here's what his problems were." And I don't know. I just think it's good to have video evidence of you, of friends, of people doing just living life. Um, so I don't know if I'll ever be legendary status. Maybe within the small corner of the internet for Vivi. I mean, Silicone Secure is probably going to have a statue of him in the Viviverse. He's probably going to have multiple statues of him. I wouldn't be surprised if they do a drop of him. Say, hey, get your own Silicone Secure statue, and some of the proceeds go to his family. Yeah, and maybe I'll get something like that one day as well. Okay, says hello there, General Darth Chaos. Big Jim Special says, hope you feel well soon. Always enjoy your content. Thank you, guys. Thank you, friendos. Yeah, I try to. Well, it's not that I try to make good content. I try to be real. I try to be honest. I try to make it so that, okay, well, this is coming from a unique perspective, and this is my experience, and it's unique. If I make it unique enough, I mean, not everyone's going to resonate with what I say or what I do or where I've come from, but some will, and there can only be one Randy Chavez. So like there can only be one Sleeping Comics. There could only be one Mr. MC1 or Dr. Rolex or K Collections or Wendy Lopez, BV Magic or Biscuits, Foster Hilt, Asian Dan. So lean into who you are. Lean into if anyone is ever thinking about making content. My first videos on YouTube didn't have my face in them. Just talking about Pokemon sales data. Hey everyone, here we go. I have my phone looking at a PSA 10 first edition Blaine's Arcanine. We have this that I just got from PSA, or I just got, and I was like sweating at the end of them. Took a while to get good at them. What's up, Mr. MC1? JKRB says, hope it's not going to be a home. Who knows, man? Who knows? I could that. So there was actually a thing in the military where you have this week called TAPS. No, not TAPS trades. TAPS is short, excuse me, for Transition Assistance Program Special or something. And Transition Assistance Program Specialty Week is for people so that veterans have a really big issue of getting out of the military and becoming homeless. And the TAPS is supposed to be the week where they show you how to not become homeless. And most times it works. Sometimes it doesn't. And there was there's people in there where it's like, you're probably going to be the statistic. I hope to never be that statistic, but who knows? Uno Sean says, God bless you, Randy. Continue to ignore the trolls. Vivi is just very behind. Not a scam. Oh, I know. It very well might actually be that Vivi really is waiting for the halving. I think so too. I think they're waiting for the halving as well. Oh God, I'm dying. Hold on. Okay. It does. It does. Ha ha ha. Y'all know that Biscuit's got a new YouTube channel? Just called Biscuit. I don't think she has any videos. Oh, she does. Called Claw Craze Friday. Biscuits 3D is the new YouTube channel for the Biscuits. Oh, just subscribe. Biscuits. Oh God, I feel like Bowser, where it's like peaches. I hecking love that Mario movie. It is so good. Also, I can't believe I haven't done this yet. But if I could get y'all to smash that like button, free way to help support the channel. On freeways or Patreon, smash that super thanks button down below, super chat as well. Blah 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 blah. I don't know if it's my muting skills, but I've seen nothing but people showing you love for the last 2 days because of this stuff. Oh, Yo Steph is my I almost said my bae. She's my cousin. I love her. She's awesome. Mute skills must be top tier. Thanks for the love. Meow meow meow. All right. So that let's go to this. Seasick Viking says exactly why I was secretly hoping you don't get that VV community position. You are way too valuable to the community, to the community being able to be yourself. You were born to be the FUD magnet, Randy. Stay strong. I will stay strong. Me, oh God, I hiccups and burps. And Totodile and Charmander will stay for you guys. Part of me feels sorry for people flooding on the reg. Nah, fam. I don't feel sorry for them at all. I probably should. If I were a better person, I would feel sorry for them, and I would reach out and I would message them and I'd be like, "Hey, it's okay, man. You could call me whatever. I still love you. Much love. Let's grab dinner," and then I would hug them. But I am not that good of a person, so we'll here for now. Pavle Punch Stanomarovich. What is going on, my guy? Pavle Punch Stanomarovich had co-authored the Stealing Manhattan book. Link down below for that. Stealing Manhattan movie starts filming soon. I wonder who's going to be in it. Grumpycat coin. Look at that. Oh God, where'd he go? I'm not on the. Oh God, what's your Randy? I'm not on the top 10 list any longer. No. Let me know when VV IPO would be better. I will let you know. I don't know if that'll happen, but we'll see. Josh says, thoughts on a Comey VV no longer being listed in Mutual Life System? That's a big nothing burger. I've gone over that before. I know. They're still on like the website. Again, to my knowledge, there's no bad blood. There's no rift. It just might be they might not have had room. And they're really Web3 gaming thing, and so far VV's not really Web3 gaming yet. Will be eventually. But again, that's a big nothing burger. To my knowledge, Robbie and them, we're all cool with each other. I've never had any bad blood. Like they're cool. Like I've never had a negative interaction with them. Oh, says this Randy lore drop is insane. I love you guys. I got I gotta put that on Snapchat too. When you go over your origin story and your friends get pumped. Oh God, I'm dying. You go down, I'm going down too. KGB. I see what you did there. Says I like his chocolate bars. So I went bowling before with a friend, and back in the day, at a bowling alley, you go and maybe you go to the snack counter and you get some popcorn chicken or you get Nesquik or you get whatever. I haven't done bowling in years. And then when you when you go and sometimes at bowling alleys there's bars. Cool. You can go to the bar, you get a beer, your pitcher of beer, whatever. Um, but this time, again, I haven't been bowling in years. Me and my friend, we go. We put in our names. I put her as Quad because I want her last name has Quad in it. And then I'll put me as just Chavez. And as soon as we put in our names, we have this lady come. It's like, "Hey y'all," she had this like Southern Belle accent. She's like, "Hey y'all, I'll be helping y'all out today." I was like, "Oh, like we already put in our names, like we're good." I says, "Oh no, silly, we're I'm here to take your eating and drinking orders." And I was like, oh, girl. Um, and so I didn't see the menus there, but suddenly Nicole, she takes a menu out of her butt and she's like, "Oh, hey, I'll take that." I was like, "I didn't see that. Like, get me a Long Island." And then the lady's like, "Oh, do you want our special house Long Island? Comes with blue carousel." I was like, "Oh, no, just regular Long Island." She's like, "All right, and for you, ma'am," and she gets her drink. And I just never experienced that before. And she's like, "All right, well, before I take this, I'm just need a card to put on tab." She just wanted a credit card to put on tab, and she's like, "This way, y'all can just order and order and order, and whatever. We already have that card." So, like, I knew what she was doing. Like, I know like what you say. Like, I've been in sales before. Yeah, just give me the card. We'll go on and put it on, and this way we could swipe, 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 and you could not know how much to spend. So I go to her. I was like, "Funny thing is, I know that you're playing me, but you're right." So I gave her the card. That was that was so good. That was so fun. So you what KGB? I see what you're doing there. You like Mr. B's chocolate bars? No, I've only had one. I've only had one of the chocolate bars. Um, and the one that I tried, like I love chocolate. I love Reese's. I love Milky Ways. I love Bunch of Crunch. I love Hershey's cookies and cream. I love chocolate. But that Mr. Beast chocolate that I'd had, I did not like it. It was not good to me. Um, but again, maybe my tastes have changed and my taste buds have, gone whatever. Um, if you like it, I think that's great. Probably one of the reasons why it's number one chocolate bar in America. Turtle. Oh, well, I gotta X out of that. All right, hold on. Yeah, yeah. Where's the turtle? Oh God, where'd you go? You go down. Turtle says, "Glad to see you on the mend, friend. It seems like a simple equation. Randy goes on whale week, price of OMI doubles. Randy cancels whale week, price drops 50%. Looking forward to seeing you in real life." Oh, dude, Turtle, I love you, man. Turtle. So Turtle's part of the. Oh, he's part of the Golden Dragon Club. You go and you put your Golden Dragon. I'll show you what I mean. Oh God, I'm dying here. Um, you just type in dragon over on the market and show all results. That gold dragon right there. You hit it. It's worth 269 or 270. Everyone comment nice down below with 69. 270 right now. But if you go and you list it like all of us do for $88,000, you go and you get a little bit of OMI each month. Now, how much OMI are we talking? You get like 2,000 OMI each month. And is that much right now? No. Will be worth a lot in like 10 years? Absolutely. Um, so yeah, he's part of that. He's part of the France giveaway that we did. Literally gave somebody a week in a resort in France the week before the France thing. I was supposed to do that, but because of the movie, the Silly Manhattan movie, I was not able to go. Good and bad thing. Fortunately slash unfortunately, Turtle's just a big part of that. He's amazing. We love him. So Randy, what are your thoughts on aliens in Miami? P.S. Hope you've had a chance to try that tea. Well, so Turtle gave me this chaga tea, and the chaga tea tastes really good. It hasn't helped my the cough, but um, all right. So first off, aliens in Miami. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but all right, the 2024 has been heckin' insane, insane because you have well, go aliens in Miami first because that's what Biscuits brought up. There's this video, a viral video on TikTok, got like millions of views, hundreds of thousands of likes, where there are these weird ass creatures in front of like this mall. There's like the cops said it was like a car accident or like some evacuation had to do whatever, but there was like I don't know, like 60 cop cars along this line. Like there's no reason for 60 cop cars unless something big is going on. And you see this person from like a hotel or wherever, and like, what are these figures? We don't know what they are. Best theory is aliens. I feel like that guy. So yeah, that was a big one. We had the dude jump over the judge's perch to attack the judge. We've had the Jew tunnels in New York City. Those are where this guy, he's like, guys, I'm like freaking out. I keep hearing Yiddish at night. I keep hearing people in our apartment. This is not a basement apartment. And then what happens? We find this kid that is, exploring New York City's underbelly in the underground. He finds these tunnels, and suddenly he finds these mattresses. Some are soiled, some have blood on them, some are not. And he moves them, and he finds a secret room where there's a bunch of Hasidic Jews. He's like, oh my god! And there's these tunnels where these Hasidic Jews just go in and like have secret meetings in the tunnels of New York City. And then this guy is like, I've been vindicated. Y'all owe me an apology because he's like, I hear these people and dude, it was wild. What else have we had? We've had I don't know if it was Missouri or Mississippi, where they found like a mass grave of like 215 bodies, and they would use the prisoners to dig the graves. But dude, 2024 has been absolutely bananas. You had the 7.6 earthquake in Japan, the giant tsunamis. Just oh my god, it's been like 2 weeks. Like I ain't even. Oof. And JP trees. Hold on, let me take a swig of this. You can upload or import your own textiles into the Veveverse. Do you think they'll charge small amounts of OMI to do each upload or import? I hope they do. I hope they charge it and burn it. That would be something that I would really like. Um, or even if they don't charge you for that, if they go and they say there's a tax and it costs, a couple gems, and then those gems go into the OMI liquidity pool, I think that would be something that is. I think that's something that would be. Oh God. I'd like them doing that. If it wasn't for OMI and they just do it by gems, that's a great way to just burn OMI as well. This is a big distraction for the big. I love you guys. Aliens in Miami. Oh, Bill Garner. Go on TikTok. Type in aliens in Miami. You'll see it all. Extraterrestrial flash. It always gives a good hypothesis on stuff like that. Well, thank you. Garner says, Biscuit says, at Bill Garner, people swore you've seen aliens in Miami at the mall. It was a huge deal. Oh, big, huge deal. Lots of huge deals. What's that? I like listening to Timothy Alberino on that stuff too. My favorite is a bunch of the Bob Lazar stuff on Joe Rogan, stuff about Area 51. He's just really, really, I don't know. He's just exciting to listen to. Choose your player. Why am I not there? Wait, am I there? Am I? Oh, look at that. That's me. Hot dog. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. This is dope. That's pretty sweet. It says he was covering the aliens in Peru that media blamed on a jetpack miner. Aliens in Peru, huh? My people. It says as if people are flying around the jungle with jetpacks. Yeah. Something about my people. Peruvians ain't that advanced. Oh god. I'm dying. Okay. Let's get some more of these. Oh god, let's get some more of these Twitter things. King Mav says, I predict Randy will rise again with OMI. The arrow of time is loaded in his favor. Godspeed. Well, I will say time's arrow neither reverses or stands still. It merely marches forward. Winky face, kissy face, winky face. Sometimes I give smiley faces when I mean to winky face, and sometimes I give winky faces when I mean to smiley face. I don't mean nothing by it. Never heard of Timothy Alvarino before. Well, you have now. It says Biscuits, check him out. He's great. He's on X too. Very nice. How much? Wow, I am 40 minutes behind on comments. I'm sorry, guys. Thanks for a recommendation. We'll check him out. Meow, meow, meow. Bill Garner. Dabs. David Traces Biscuits. Don't get me wrong. I really believe there's aliens. And those people who claim what they've seen sounds like ish I've seen before. But I think it's Miami crypto hub hoax. It's fun though. All right, well, it's fun. I ain't gonna take away from the fun. 1 second, guys. Long live the Randy. Everyone like that. The chat. Screw the haters. Yeah, heck them. Heck them hard. Let it go. Oh god. Let it go. Ugh. Anyone else see your streamers stream while they're sick? I think not. Moving on. Bill Garner, thank you for the super chat. Speaking of addiction, I don't see the price of the addiction. All right, so I can't find it on the. It's not letting me search on the actual marketplace, so I'm gonna have to. Well, maybe if I just search number one, because it was addiction comic number one. It just says no results found. That's so stupid. I typed in addiction. That didn't mean nothing. Strange Academy, mystery stuff. Fantastic Four. I put Zerzolo in there, and it might pizza. No, I don't know. I'll continue to look for it, but we have a lot of comics, and I don't know if it's going to be a thing that I can find right away. And I don't know. I don't. Oh, actually, I have one. I have one. Comics. Fantastic Four, Hit Monkey, Yoda, West Coast Avengers, Thrawn, Scarlet Witch, Yoda, Spider-Man 4, Spider-Man 2, Darth Maul, Kenny X-Men, Spider-Man, some. Oh, all right, Addiction number one. Oh wow, $16 for Addiction number one. Hot dog. Bro got same sickness that every overpowered anime character has that nerfs their strength. I'm like Goku, where he gets that heart disease. Dude, honestly, every time I think that, it's like if I ever need to feel better about myself, I'll be like, well, God made me this way to nerf me because I was too powerful. Like, all right, fair point. Nufa, do you think we can still hit 10 cents comfortably? Yeah. 80 cents times very comfortably. Very comfortably. All right, Blue says, you need Dr. Randy. Your obsession that VV will get back to anywhere near where it was intended to do is fighting your buddy. No, it makes perfect sense. Last bull market, yeah, narrative hit, digital collectibles, it was popping. But this next time, not only will you have the digital collectibles narrative and the metaverse narrative, but you'll also have another $1 trillion in the market just from the Bitcoin ETFs. Like again, like once we have the rates that we were supposed to have another rate hike, as soon as we have a rate cut, listen, a rate cut of 0.25% will put $1 trillion into the market uh, by by in 6 months. So once we have that at some point in Q1, this is Biden going and saying, "Hey, listen, we have a really big thing that we're doing here." Biden is going to campaign on the markets. He's going to campaign on the stock market, crypto, on everyone that's going and saying, "Oh, we can, um, we can do this when things are rallying." That's what he's going to do. So, yeah, again, you have the rate cuts that are once they say, "Oh, hey, we have this, we're done." It's going to take 6 months to do that, but once those 6 months are up, uh, it's not going to take that long for people to go and say, "Okay, this is because of Biden," even though it's not. It's just what the Fed is doing, and I'm trying to find something that I had. Yeah, the $1 trillion of the 5.7 trillion in money market accounts is going to rip into the market. Um, there's no question in my mind that happens. Oh, this is when you feel better. You should talk about my MCP problem. You got a stroke. Yeah. So I have mentioned Dog Boys there, and he's not the only one. There's Dog Boy and a handful of other people that have not had their MCP points calculated. And like, I get it. Like, okay, well, you can't count MCP points anyway. But listen, there are some people like I think Dog Boy would probably be a master collector. And there's certain things that he can't get into because he's not a master collector yet, and it's not his fault. It's Vivi's fault for not calculating the points. This has been going on for months, like several months. David is aware of it, and it's just like I don't even know if David has the knowledge to be like, okay, I know I own this company or both companies, and I'm founder, and but I don't know if he actually has the skilled to go in and recalculate someone's points. He very well might, but he's busy doing a bunch of other stuff. But it's like an officer. I remember this guy, Captain Dumont, that says like, "Hey, Chavez, we we got to do this. Like military stuff. We have to do this. Can you show me how to do it?" It's like, okay, well, you're the captain that's in charge of our whole squadron, of like a couple hundred people. Okay, yeah, me as an airman or a senior airman, yeah, I'll show you how to do it. But it's like, you have other people to do that for you. Um, so I don't know if David knows how to do it. He doesn't need to know how to do it. It's like a veterinarian not knowing how to put in a nebulizer. You need gentosin, you need anthocin, you need a couple, like 9 mLs of saline, to make a nebulizer. A veterinarian won't know how to do that just because the veterinarian assistants or the veterinary technicians will know how to do that. That's what they do. So I don't know if David knows how to do that. And if he does, if he doesn't know, you know, I don't want to say it's not on him. He probably should have gone on and said, "Hey, we need to get this done. It's been months for this guy." That should have happened. Tommy 06. Thank you for the super chat saying fiat to OMI to MCP points to bronze tickets to question mark. Frustration is high. Too many hops. Not enough value or utility. Taking way longer for many. What say you? I feel like you're Aragon going into the King of the Dead. Say like, fight for me, and I will consider your oaths fulfilled. What say you? You know, I get it. Staking OMI for MCP points or bronze tickets that we cannot use. It's not the utility that people want. Yeah, it's something, but it's not something that we can use yet. Well, be advised, guys. Akomi had planned to have been able to use your bronze tickets by now, or MCP points. Like it was planned to have launched in Q1. It's not, unfortunately. Well, I shouldn't say that. MCP points we might be able to use in Q1. That still might happen, but again, Q2 is when everything's going to really roll out. So I get it. It's not what people want, and the things that people do want is not happening as fast as people want. I have invested more than almost anybody, and I've been waiting longer than most people. I understand your frustrations more than anyone. I do this and I don't get paid for it. I mean, you guys pay me with super chats and views and whatever, but um, really the best thing I can do is really just interpret the data that's already out there. You know, it sucks, but what are you going to do? You have to wait. You could take this token that is likely going to 150x in the next 12 to 18 months, and you could be frustrated, and you could sell, and you can lock in your losses, and you can go and say like, this is dumb, and I'm going to speak with my wallet, and I'm going to sell my tokens, and I'm going to sell my collectibles, and maybe this shows you guys how serious we are. And okay, they'll have that data. This person left, but then what's going to happen? Other people that have stronger patience are going to go and not care. There's going to be people that that are chilling, that have 6, 7 figures in the bank, or even less, maybe 50,000 in the bank, whatever. They have enough to keep the bill collectors at bay, and they have enough to live the life they want. And they don't care. They could not work for years. Um, they could not work for years because they could rest on the stuff that they already have, and they could wait for OMI to go up. And I get it. Not everyone has that option. But these big whales that are going and spending $7,000 on a one of one, or people that are going and spending $25,000 on a partner statue, or half that, 12,500 on a one of one or one of seven Aston Martin. I get it. VV is less likely to take a bunch of these threats, or even if people carry out those threats seriously. I don't want to say because it doesn't matter, but because in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't. Um, VV knows what the community wants, and they do know that at some point there will be that inflection point where people go and they'll actually start losing money. They'll run net negative every month, but that's not going to be for a long time. And again, you have VV and Akomi could do nothing for the next year, and will still pump 10x because of the narrative changing. Now, obviously, they're not going to do that. They're not going to rest on their laurels. I'm telling you, they're constantly working tirelessly, and the beating shall continue until production improves. They are working tirelessly as much as they can within safety reasons. It's just that a lot of this does take time. It does. You're dealing with a new technology. You're dealing with a disruptive industry. You're having to go with what you want to do and what you can do are two different things because of regulatory clarity, and even things that they want to do that they can't do. And the lawyers say, you can't do this. Okay, well, I have a way around that. Can I do this? And the lawyers say, like, you probably could, but just to be safe, let's not do that. How many times are you going to do that? How many times are you going to have the lawyer go and invest you and be like, hey, you can't live your best life and you can't do this because it wouldn't look good. Even though it's not against the law, it's not against, it's not going to affect you in any negative way. But again, I understand 100%. And although I don't show it, I'm likely more frustrated than anyone because I've been here longer and I've put in more money than most people. Not everyone, but most. So I'm right there with you. You're preaching to the choir. But again, like Warren Buffett says, investing, money doesn't go from the poor to the rich. It goes from the inpatient to the patient. And if you're able to go and hodl through the bad times, you're gonna be able to go and see that this is why most people don't make it in crypto. It's because they go and they sell when things are down. Like I hate the other day that on Around the Akomiverse, Jordan goes and touts Ron's cryptotherapy, who, and again, he's a nice enough guy. But I don't think he's a millionaire or a multimillionaire. And he's, Ron's cryptotherapy is like, yeah, I'm not down on OMI. I'm not gonna buy OMI. I think it's whatever. but I'm going to buy, Medicaid, and I'm going to buy this stuff that's already 6x or 10x. And it's like, okay, well, you're taking these people and you're telling them to sell OMI that's at its bottom to go and lock in that loss to buy something that's already done a 10x. Like, that's stupid, and you're going to get people wrecked. And like Jordan going and saying, "Oh, you should buy Epico." Yeah, I know Epico's up like 10x or whatever, but you should buy it so I can go and set. Like, again, this is you have a lot of people that are going to sell at the bottom. I know people that have sold at the bottom here right now that have messaged me and said, like, "Hey, Randy, I love you and I love your conviction, but I'm not going to miss this bull market, and I'm selling. I see everything pumping and OMI's not, and they're locking in their losses, and they're selling at the bottom, and they're chasing the green candles right before the correction, which it already happened. Okay, fine. If you want to get in now, it's cool. Um, so again, I get it. Things are taking a lot longer than anyone would like. What do you do? Do you go in and lock in those losses and maybe them say, okay, we've had a lot more people leave now than 3 months or even 6 months ago. Now we really need to get it in gear. No, they're already in gear, going as fast as they can, burning the candle at both ends. And this is this is hard. Again, being disruptive, being first to market, being all these things, being number one in the space. They don't want to lose that. You don't want to lose being number one in the space. And again, they can rest on their laurels for years and still be number one in the space, but they're not. I'm telling you, they're not. I'm telling you, I know this team. I know what they're doing, and I know this is a really long-winded explanation for this, for the super chat, but I really want to drive home that everything that can be done is being done. I promise. Big A says the market in general pumping doesn't mean OMI will pump. Since January 2023 to present, Bitcoin is up 132% and OMI is down 36%. Agreed. And even when I said, listen, Vivi and Akomi could go and they could launch Veveverse phase 1, and they could have tokens start burning from the circulating supply, with OMI to accessory, with OMI to gem. They could do OMI to MCP, OMI to bronze tickets, and it could all burn. And they could get on an exchange, and they could announce new IP, and they could announce new vertical. And guess what? It still might not matter. Why? Because the narrative needs to change. And Akomi and Vivi could do all of that, and the price could still stay steady. Chavez, how could they do all that and the price stay the same? Because I've seen it before. I've seen Tesla go and release new vehicles. I've seen them go and create new gigafactories. I've seen them go and grab the top engineers from graduating colleges, and the price still stay the same. Why? Because people are stupid. Like, there's Mark Martufi. He was a teacher at my orchestra teacher at my high school. When you crescendo, you don't just go da, 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 da. No, you go da, 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 da. Why? Because the audience is stupid. People, investors in general, are stupid. This is why not a ton of people make money investing. This is why most people get wrecked in crypto. It's because they're stupid, and they will see all of these amazing things happening, and until that narrative changes, the price, it won't do much. Now maybe it does, maybe it doubles, maybe it triples. We're exceedingly undervalued here, so maybe it does that just on its own, just from getting those things. But when that narrative changes, that pendulum's going to swing so heckin' far into that overcorrection. Again, not financial advice, just how I see it. I could be wrong, blah blah blah. But I guarantee. But the market, again, when that narrative changes, Akomi could not do a single thing. They could not do any of those things that I could talk about. They could not roll out a single thing from here until the narrative changes 8 months from now, and it'll pump 10x, because that's what'll happen. Mugar says Labyrinth movie would be incredible too. David Bowie is. Oh, we have Labyrinth. We don't have David Bowie in his crazy pants, but we do have Labyrinth. We do have that. Oh my god. I'm only 22 minutes behind schedule now. Thomas E06 says, at minimum, I want better communication, not the trade federation strategy. No, I understand federations, strategy. I feel you. Um, listen, maybe I'm a little bit to blame for this, but as long as I'm taking the heat for things, Vivi and Nakomi are probably going to stay silent. Um, but again, we're talking about mental health here. I would rather. Oh yeah. Oh, oh, Jesus. I would rather go and take this FUD. I would rather go and be the community's punching bag because it doesn't affect me, but it'll probably affect some of the people at Vivi and Nakomi. Um, so I know that if I step away right now and you don't see me for X amount of weeks, and suddenly the FUD goes from me and the target's on Vivi and Nakomi's back, yeah, they'll probably say something. I'm telling you right now, as their conduit. Um, I'm telling you right now, in this past hour and a half, hour 40 minutes, more things than Vivi Comey would tell you in the next several weeks, most likely. But fudge, man. But just because of people's mental health and how these things can affect them, I'm not going anywhere for now. Maybe in the future I might. We shall see. Oh God, where was I? Okay. Oh, yep. Biscuit saying, "Agreed, dog boy is a loyal VV community and it's been over 7 months." Yeah, yeah. Dog boy and Rita baby are they're good friends of mine. Um, they've been on the stream, they've been on the channel. I met in real life. Mhm. They're good people. Big A says, "Just tell him don't ask about his MCQ points on Twitter." Oh God. Listen, clearly with me, I'm an open book. I'll answer anything. I'll do whatever. But yeah, so that's I've been trying. I'm going to call Biscuits out here. I've been trying to get Biscuits on the podcast, and she's been. I feel like Clubber Lang, and I'm Clubber Lang in Rocky 3, and she's Rocky. You've been ducking me, Biscuits. Come on the podcast. The people want you. But I get it. When she's ready, I'm just teasing her. Um, me and Biscuits got a good relationship. Oh God, I'm dying. I just want to get my conversation. I just want to and be advised when I do get Biscuits on the channel. Yeah, we'll talk about OMI. We'll talk about Vivi. We'll talk about some of the issues, but I want to know Biscuits' journey. I want to ask her questions that she's never been asked, and I want people to see the real Biscuits. I want people to go and I want to ask the real questions, like what's her favorite dinosaur, and why that? And if you could be a dinosaur, would you be that, your favorite one, or would you be something else? I want to I want to go and ask the real question. I want to ask her, does she ever talk to the blue corn moon or ask the singing bobcat why he grins? That's a line from Pocahontas. I'm not gonna ask that. Oh fuck. Maybe I will. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. We're good. Biscuit says my points got fixed almost immediately after David told me he was looking into my points because my post about it got a lot of engagement. Subway doesn't get that much, so don't make him priority. I don't think that's it. Now maybe it is. Maybe it is. But if I were a betting man, which I am from time to time, that's a quote from Al Pair too. But again, if I were a betting man, which I am from time to time, I would bet that Biscuits' problem was probably quite a bit easier to solve than Dog Boy's. I mean, that's just what makes sense to me. Now, just because it makes sense doesn't mean it's right. That's just my theory. It could be what Biscuits is saying, but I, I I think Vivi would want to go and squash out as much negativity as they could. And if it was an easy fix, it was just If Biscuit's problem that got solved in 2 seconds was the same as Dogboy's problem, they would solve Dogboy's problem. I just feel like Dogboy's problem just goes a little bit deeper and has a different way and why it's not. Again, if I knew how to do it, if I knew whatever, I would go and I'd fix it. But I just don't know how to do that. Regards to the Biscuits, you got it finally corrected. Sweet. I know you were waiting for. She was waiting for a long time. I'm going about all the backlash you got for simply questioning MCP points. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We know. If it doesn't want, I feel we're at the crazy. Well, crazy thing is, Dogboy is a loyal view. Yeah, Dogboy's great. We love Dogboy. Dogboy and Rita Baby. They're friends. Oh no, Big A. Sorry, I don't know how to take it on here. Oh, it's fine. I know what you're doing. Bugars says, "Yep, finally got picked 7 months later." Becoming a marriage crisis. I'm kicking my ass with FCP points and levels. It's all right, Dogboy. We'll get you fixed up at some point. Bill Gardner saying, "Biscuits, that is good to hear. Hot dog. Good to hear." Oh God, I'm going down. No, where was I? I can't find. Josh says, "Waiting for Q2 rollout of exchanges and whatever else you think is coming is late. These things should be here already. The rest of the market has been running. These cycles aren't a mystery. I get it. I understand. I understand 100%. You are preaching to the choir." But I did say, I mean, even though Vivi and Nakomi are really the only things I have outside of some meme coins, I did say that if Vivi or Nakomi does not roll out anything that is, if they don't roll out anything substantial by the end of Q2, I will begin selling all of my VV collectibles and start putting those funds into other things. So, you have that there. Now, I can openly go and say that because I am 99.99% positive that they will roll out substantial things. But again, just me going and saying, hey, given that timeline, just letting you all know I'm with you, and I will do that. I've said that multiple times on air, whether it's live stream or Twitter or in video. If they do not roll out anything substantial by the end of Q2, I will, on July 1st, start selling everything that I have, and I got 1,500 something collectibles and comics. So and I'll take it all out and I'll use that for other projects. Now, not all of it would go into other projects. If they haven't rolled anything out and the price is the same, I would go and put a lot of it into OMI. I mean, I would put most of it into other stuff, but I would put a decent amount into OMI because again, Vivi and Nakomi could not do anything, and the price will pump like 10x just because of the narrative change. So yeah, like 25% of that will go into OMI, and the rest of the stuff will go into Bumper or Definity or whatever stuff that's really good. Gary Almeida says Bitcoin US Rotkata. What is the Rotkata? I don't know what the Rotkata is. Basic sessions was good. So many ill-informed people. Oh, thank you. Yeah, lots of ill-informed. Oh God. Wow, I am tipsy. Oh wow, Biscuit saying. Vvar says, I just got home a tweet that says, remind me 6 hours, says posted 6 hours ago. Fellas, my dude, tell you guys. We're on his live stream, about to ask now. Oh, what was I saying? Oh, okay, so I guess we'll talk about this. What are your thoughts about, all right, Biscuit's going to say, well, we'll go to this now. Biscuits had originally said, I know you guys probably weren't answering common questions in the space. I did a space with David, NFL, something, blah, 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 Wolfweb, in space, but I had a question. If Earth 2 can communicate and tell their community that they are waiting for the halving to list on exchanges, and it could be the case for delays in OMI, why can't OMI just say that? They've given many other excuses, but that's not one of them I've heard, unless I'm missing something. In reality, if people want to be mad at Randy, and Randy is being the punching bag for Comey, they should be really mad at the company for lack of transparency and communication. Comey could easily cut down on the backlash to Randy if it's true and they're just waiting until they have it. I've said since day one, I hope they execute and prove us all wrong. I've also stated I really want Randy to win so he can be on a yacht with all the Pokemon cards he can dream of. I do not have. I'm not a strong swimmer, so I won't be doing a bunch of water stuff. But I'll um I'll go on and definitely collect some of those Pokemon cards. Um, Foster Hill goes and says it has been communicated several times, most notably in the interview below. Worth listening to the clip for those who missed it. The clip was David saying, "Well, I'll read Biscuit saying, what are your Randy? What are your thoughts about waiting for the halving? After hearing this clip." So it was Foster going and saying, or it was David from Metamona saying, "Hey, David, we want to ask you the question. When exchanges? The community wants to know. The public, the mainstream wants to know. Why aren't you guys on major exchanges yet?" And David has said, "Well, listen, we actually have applied to many exchanges, and although some of the these exchanges are really waiting for regulatory clarity. They're waiting for certain things to happen. So we are waiting on them, but we have applied." In a roundabout way, that's what David said. So I'd gone on and said, "Oh God, sounds like he confirmed we applied and that exchanges sometimes need to wait for clarity on certain things. Now I know for a fact that some don't. Bitmart, CoinW, etc. Why do I know that? Because I've worked with 4chan, I've worked with Bojack, and I've worked with Grumpycat. And Bitmart and CoinW do not give a fudge. I think the Komi's on Bitmart already, so it doesn't matter. CoinW, I don't think they are on, but you can get on exchanges without. They'll just like, okay, give me my $20,000 and I'll list you, or give me my X amount of this $20,000 worth of this crypto, and then I'll list you. But I go on to say that I'm sure some of them do want to wait for some type of clarity on certain issues. But this is also something I'd say if I was timing exchanges and I didn't want to say that I was timing exchanges. But again, that's just my opinion. Oh God. Oh no. She's probably secretly happy about it because she has bragging rights for real though. Hope they get it fixed soon. She's talking to Dog Boy about that. Oh yeah, this was not too long ago. Biscuits says, oh yeah, like 2 minutes ago, she had posted my. I love it when people share my stuff, share my stream. With all these X's we've been getting else where I'm kosher, even though my OMI bag could have gotten a ton more gains elsewhere, I've been patient the whole time regardless. It is what it is. You ever see that meme where let's put that there a little bit. Ooh. You ever see that meme where oh man, okay, well that's what I'm getting right now. You ever see that meme where it's like a therapist talks to their patient. What happens when something? What do you do when something really bad happens to you? And the person just says, "It is what it is," and the therapist is like, "No, yeah, it is what it is." I mean, you can't change what happened in the past, not your past. You can change other people's past. Time travel, Anyway, um, yeah, you can't change what had happened. Most likely, you can just accept what's happened and make the best with what hand you have right now. And I'm in charge now of $100,000 fund. Now, out of the $100,000, we've only received $10,000 of those $100,000 funds. But on January 1st, we have this agreement. Okay, we'll get X amount of dollars to this fund. Let me see what it's been up to. Um, I'll say some of the stuff we have: Definity and Definity and Flow. So Flow says it's down. Oh no, hold on. Flow says it's down $150. But I might get a little bit more. So over the course of the day, it's up 4.36%. But if we go to the week, yeah, I guess I bought a little bit higher. Apparently I'm down. I've made $150 today. on that fund, but again, I only have like $4,300 worth. But the all-time returns, I'm actually down 150. So I was actually down quite a lot. So I might get a little bit more of that for my own uh, enjoyment because that's Flow is on all these exchanges. Let me go and see what Flow's doing here. Flow's good, man. It's got $62 million in trading volume. For the past week, it's not doing too bad. I mean, definitely down from the highs of the week at 92 cents. It's at 83 cents now, but pretty good. I mean, the all-time Flow actually has, it was up to like 30 something, up to like $36 at one point, and now it's down to less than $1. I think it gets back there. We'll see. Gets that 40x, 50x. Ace Rig Move says, "Good morning, the real rent Chavez. Good morning, Ace Rig Move." I'm dying. I'm personally okay with the time frame on exchanges. Q2 is the right time around having. Then 18 months is ish of run. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. I take that. Eddie Almeida says Bitcoin capital is rotating into alts. Meow. Dominance is collapsing, minus ETH and stablecoins. Oh, can't wait to see what happens. Can't wait to see what happens. Just says there are better gains elsewhere. I do hold OMI as well. There might be better gains short term, but long term, OMI will outperform 99.9% of everything else. Dogboy says, "Oh, she's loving it." Stupid MCP points. Yeah, I bet. Does Ready telling people not to diversify is horrible? I don't. Well, one, I don't give financial advice to anyone except my friends, and I always do advocate to diversify. I always tell people that you really should diversify, and it's been proven that diversification has been better because a lot of people that have been in multiple projects over this last couple months have made gains in projects that aren't OMI. OMI stayed flat or gone down, and other projects like Solana's gone like a 10x. So Solana be bitching. Solana be out there. So yeah, I'm always a big proponent of diversifying. The only people that I would tell to go all in on one project would be me or people like me. And I don't tell that to you guys. I tell that to my friends. I tell that like I tell my friends you can't have enough OMI. I tell my whales you can never have too much OMI. Um, but again, that's my friends. For everyone else, I'm always a big proponent of diversifying. Anyways, as Bill Garner doubt it, more like the next 90 days of profit rotations before business cycle resets. We'll see what happens. OMI is a small coin compared to many other well-known projects. Bitcoin always pumps, then ETH, then main alts, then small coins. That has been what happened in the past. Agreed, sir. Now, let's see where else we go here. Okay. JP Tree says, I 16x today with Myro. Yo, nice. And I think it'll be the first meme coin to hit that mythical dollar mark that all meme coin holders dream of. 1 billion max circulating supply. Solana's founder's dog. I mean, come on, maybe even a $5 play. Who knows, man? I mean, Myro could go to the moon for everyone. Myro could go and make people a lot of money, or Myro can get people wrecked. Nobody has a crystal ball. Look at cycles historically. Market never pumps until after halving. Yeah. There's some people that don't even look at alts until after halving. Who knows? Yeah, dude, market has been pumping a lot. Eddie Almeida says that Bill Gardner, false. First cycle was 2 years. Second was almost 3 years. It's all macro trade, but I mean, this is also a different time. The first time ever you have institutional money coming in. This has never happened before. So we could have a lot of crazy things that again have never happened before. Chief Shambu, stupid. I don't know what you're talking to. Bill Gardner says, there's not a huge pump outside of a few coins. Bull runs are like everyday coins shooting up 15%. You can put money into almost anything and it goes up. We're not there. That's true. We're not there yet. But maybe one day. Maybe someday. Halloween. I love that song. Thomas Z06 was at minimum. I want better communication, not trade. Federation owns strategy. No, I feel you. I would like that as well. I think that would restore a bit of confidence. But again, when they're open with communication, hey, we want to do this, we want to do this, and people say when, or our goal is by this, and we don't hit it, it's been a recipe for a disaster in the past. Huh. It would be a recipe for disaster. Huh. But we'll see. Buy a lot of cheap comics. Yep, I have to. And Meta says up 7x in July. Only VV is holding me down. I hear you. VV has caused a lot of heartache for people. Always caused a lot of heartache for people. But I do believe that in the next, 12 to 18 months, OMI outperforms 99.9% of crypto. Again, that's just my belief. So many items are. Oh yeah, almost everything on VV is undervalued, in my opinion. Whereas actually, me too. I'm gonna have to open a comic shop at Vevegrossing to do something with all of these. You can go and put comics on your wall in the VVverse. That's something you can do. Foge says, I want VV to burn Labyrinth. It's the only full set, all 2-digit I own. Keep your heads up, homie. Sentiment always changes in a bull. Main reason most YouTubers, influencers hibernate in bear markets. That's true. I have never wavered. I hope people recognize that in the future. Ray Drive says, take some raw garlic, cut it up, and drop it in your food. It'll help a lot. Me, as an alcoholic, does not eat a lot of food, but I should. West Coast guy says, David, you and Dan created all the FUD. Did they, though? You think David would try and say something to calm the people, but he's silent. I mean, David could be traveling. He could be meeting with IP. Like, again, this FUD will be over in a few days, most likely. Maybe it's not. Maybe it gets worse. I don't know. But when you have Randy Chavez to go and take all the FUD, you don't need to address it. You could focus your brain on other issues. If Randy Chavez wants to do your chores for you, and he wants to go and address all the FUD and take that brunt of it, let Randy Chavez do that. I have no issue doing that. That's probably going to be one of the things that I'm going to ask David for a nice Christmas gift this year. Biscuits slapping. I mean, it says, why would anyone rent anything in a metaverse? Makes no sense. Well, if you can't get it any other way, or if you go and you have if it's too expensive to get, but you can rent it, why not do that? Makes sense. It says they would rent when they can't afford to buy it. Yeah, agreed, 100%. And it says, well, Chip Man says, at least comics will appreciate as people realize digital assets have real significance. Agreed, they will. A lot of these things will. Slow and steady. Does it only make sense if it's unobtainable for the average person? Yeah. I mean, a lot of these things will be unobtainable. Notice says, yep. Video Meta says, right. And again, be advised, guys. People in first world countries live in this fishbowl of $20, $40, $100. Nothing. No problem. Not everyone is a first world country. You have some people at second world, third world countries that, yeah, they might have a smartphone, but they might also have, $3 is like, hey, that's food for the day. $3 is food for the day. Even in America, go to the dollar store is really more like the $1.99 store now. But used to be $3 of food for the day. Now maybe like $6 of food for the. You can still go to Taco Bell and get like $6 in food, and you'll probably have calories for the day. But a lot of people in the second and third world, they do that's a luxury. And if you want to, let's say yeah, you have an extra, you make a couple dollars a day, and the Philippines make a couple dollars a day. How do you go and do some of these things? You can't afford $100, but you can afford $5, to rent it, and you could do that and do what you need to do. And again, people live in these fish bowls where they don't understand that most of the rest of the world doesn't have as much money as you. Did you know if you make, I think, $32,000, you're in the top 1% in the world? If you make that much money, you are in the top 1% in the entire world. But most people don't see that because they see $32,000 is below the poverty line. wish in America it is. In a lot of the first world it is. You can get a remote job, you can do whatever, and most people just don't do that though. They live outside their means. They try to keep up with the Joneses, try to be the big person, big guy, and it doesn't work. So Bill Gardner's absolutely right here. Bill Gardner says, "Yep, I was right." Folks like, I've been trying for weeks, man. Trying for weeks. I'd be a Velociraptor because they're smart. If they work in a team, they can take down a T-Rex. I I also love Jurassic Park and Land Before Time. Good times. Shiv Shambu says people will rent stuff only when average folks can't buy at regular prices. Agreed. You got to rent them one $10,002. Also makes sense if you needed a certain object to unlock something, but a couple runs to rent or a couple hundred to buy, they'd probably rent. Agreed. And even and it doesn't even matter with that. Like I'm not even talking about Veveverse. When you take a look at things outside, one second in. Okay. Let's say Alex Rodriguez, Derek Jeter, LeBron James, whoever. Let's say their autograph costs, I don't know, $1,000, whatever. You super athlete, super star, super actress, singer, whatever. Their autographs cost $1,000. Okay, you know somebody that has that. You pay somebody $20 to go and get that autograph. Cool. But to be able to actually go and get a selfie with them, I've had more people ask me for selfies than people ask me for autographs. I've signed autographs, I've signed Pokemon cards, I've signed shirts. It's cool. It's fun. But the amount of people that ask me for selfies completely goes and destroys the amount of people that ask me for autographs. Autographs are cool. People want every, YouTuber, influencer's signature on a shirt. Or they want me to sign a Pokemon card. They want me to sign something special. They want me to sign a drawing they did of me, which is fun. But most people ask for selfies because that just shows that amount of importance. So again, if you have something, let's say gold and silver VV logo, when you do renting and transfers, if there's a party happening in Europe and I can't go because I'm in America, I'm doing a movie or whatever, and somebody doesn't want to buy a gold and silver VV logo for $4,000, but I can rent it to somebody for $250, they're gonna rent it so that they can go to this party because it's in their account. Like that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna do that. It's gonna be an easy way to go and make some money. 100%, Bill. So on NFT derivatives, I mean, whatever works. Nothing comics to rent. Thinking more like vehicles, objects, or people. Agreed. Right. You've been sick for way too long, or I've been sick for a couple weeks. I'm mostly okay, but the cough. I have multiple doctors in the family. If you need advice, I'm fine right now. Well, not fine. I'm getting better. I was destroyed for a couple weeks, but we'll see. You can figure out multiple ways to figure out utility for all the collectibles and comics. Yeah, yeah, they totally could. Excuse me. The utility value would appreciate. Agreed. Hemi do. Definitely ask her about the 3D printing designs and collections. Biscuits. Yeah, Biscuits is great at those. I can't wait to get her on the pod. As if going essentially is derivatives, as he is going to be flooded with every car imaginable from movies, games, and real life. It might be. Who knows? Q1 price range. Oh, the end of Q1. I don't really expect. I don't really expect anything. I think we'll probably be maybe 00072, 00075. Will increase by like 20%. I really don't expect anything in Q1. Oh, good surprises. Who knows? Thank you, Emmy and Zoo. Meow meow meow. Biscuits. Conor says, "Yep, but I'm rocking the Ghostbusters vehicle." Variant Ecto 1. Anyway, says the amount of cars already outstrips users, and there's like 5 models so far. Well, I mean, that's a Lamborghini. Well, no, I guess there's a bunch of stuff. Agreed. Walmart doesn't make money selling exclusive products. They sell cheap garbage. Agreed. Agreed. This is Randy. Still want your thoughts on what you asked me to remind you of. I think I did already. Let me know if I didn't. Let me know. The guy says the drops are nonstop. Must be something big they're building. They're yeah, they're building a lot of big stuff. If you use Walmart, NFTs, no, or Costco, or whatever David said. Walmart, Amazon, whatever you have. It's gonna be something new though. Hydro Pump 10X. There's none that says it will possible release. Don't count because we've heard it for 3 years. No, I mean, 3 years ago, well, no, 3 years ago we were at like 0007, and then in middle of 2021 we went down to 00014, or I'm sorry, 0014. We went from 007 0014, and then what happened later that year? We went to 008 ish, and then 2022 same thing, 008 ish. So 3 years ago we were, or 2.5 years ago we were very very good. Yeah, no, the narrative. Once the narrative changes, that's it. That's all you need. Engine Comic has pumped it. Yeah, addiction going hard. Wish a little more. Yeah, same. Got to pump to liquidity. Or I'm done. Be careful out there. So something like once a month. I've given Randy more money on the stream than the price of that. It's true. Bill Gardner has consistently gone on and super chatted a lot over the course of, well, a long time. He's a good egg. We love him. As sharing your opinion, of course, biscuits, of course. Again, just my opinions, but anyway, care less about comic sales. Our Ireblues is Randy. I'm trying to sell Eve and other arty collectibles way below floor, but can't sell anything. Market is dead. Oh, he is dead. The whole project is on its last legs. Got to look. Listen, I know this company more intimately than anyone else outside of the people that work there. They still make millions per month. Several hundred thousand per week. But again, not everything pumps at once. Not everything just because you're making millions of dollars per week doesn't mean that it's going to go into the thing that you have. I'm going to say most of the designer con collectibles have seen its day, and it's likely not going to pump. Most of the designer con collectibles are like that. I would like to think that Gary Baseman, Luke Chu, Brett Crawford, people that I'm friends with, yeah, those are probably going to pump. Mumba, like all these things are probably going to pump. I hope. But a lot of these people, I don't know where my phone went. But most of the designer con artists, they've seen their day. They've already had their prime, and likely a lot of them are not going to have their day in the sun again. Maybe some will. There's some people that could surprise me. But the Eve stuff, I'll take a look at the Eve stuff right now. I'll tell you what's going on with it. Going down to. All right, let's do Eve Ink Stories Ultra Rare. Okay, well, this is why. Listen, the list price was 90 gems, and now the floor is more than double that. You can't say something's dead when the floor is more than double the price of the original of the list price. The floor is double the original list price. And again, these are fairly scarce where there's 888 of them. And I'll do you one better. I'll go to Stacker right now and see exactly how many of these were bought in the last week. If I can find it. I don't know where Stacker is. All right, here we go. You go down, I'm going down too. All right. I think they're gonna make me sign in again. Okay. Sign up. Let me continue with X. You go down, I'm going down too. I love that song so much. Yeah, redirecting. All right, so I'm gonna type in Eve. Fudge, God, my thumbs are so fat. I'm so fat. Be advised, there's one person that owns 18 of these. There's another person that owns 10. Another person that owns 10. Those top 3 people own 38 of these. It's a lot. The last time one of these sold was December 27th. That was like a little over 2 weeks ago. And that was at $350. Damn. So it seems like a lot of people are trying to sell this stuff, the things that has no name, really no IP, outside of Vivi. Who's heard of this? Mostly no one. So they're likely trying to sell these in order to go into the better IPs. So that's why you see this at at 199 and why nobody's buying. 199 is a lot. You can get what would you want? Do you want an Eve for $200 where nobody's ever heard of the IP outside of Vivi? Or do you want three first appearance Cyclops or three first appearance Gambits or like three first appearance Beasts? Like what do you want? Like what do you think is going to be the better value? I understand that this is scarce, 888 mints, but okay, if you can get sub 100s, like there are far less sub 100 beasts and Cyclops and Gambits than there are of Eves because there's only 59, or what's 59 times three? That's 177. There's only 177 beasts, Cyclops, and Gambits versus 888 of Eves. And again, you can get multiple beast Gambits or Cyclops, or you can get one Eve. People are likely going to get, and again, that's just one set of the Marvel Mighties. Eve is cool. It's fun. It's fun to play with an AR. It looks sexy. It looks cool. It's different, and I love the artwork. I love the detail, and I love. She pregnant? Ink Stories, a series of in-house designs by Mighty Jacks, collaborating with the top artists in the world to reimagine the most recognizable tales. Sculpted by Mighty Jacks, customized JPK, Ink Stories Eve tells the story of Eden through a series of traditional style full body tattoos. Story of Eden going and grabbing the old school with the tattoos of the new school. There's only 888 of them. Owners of the Eve, could collect their first priority to pre-order the physical collectible in 2022. And maybe this is something cool for you. Maybe it's like, hey, I remember in DesignerCon of 2021 when this happened, and I was with Sparky and Chavez and Taps and Wet Wizard, and we were all in a circle and we were all trying to go for it fast. And it sold out in less than a second. And the owner of Mighty Jacks came over and said, hey, I tried to buy one of these and it wouldn't let me. And we had to educate them saying that's what VV does. That's the power of VV. We buy things out in less than a second. And the look on their face was priceless. And that's something that reminds me of that. I get it. I could pump this up all day if I wanted. But you have to be realistic. How many people have had that experience? How many people have had that experience and are willing to pay $200 for it versus something that they can get that's likely going to be more valuable in X amount of months? That's why. Yeah. So again, I don't want to burst your bubble there, but something that needed to be said. Flurry. He wants to buy them. It's full enough to hold them floors. Everybody's understand. Watch your auto sweep. It might. Who knows? We're gonna see that. Well, I mean, listen, OMI is like in the best project that I see out there. I don't see anything else better. Chainlink XRP and Z only at this point. Macro is heck down and break even on VV. Time wasted. Well, for now. GRT, Google, Web3, multi-asset ETF baskets. We'll see this stuff can fly high. Retail understands Google and AI plus GRT help scale these layer ones, including Solana with substreams. I can't wait to see what happens. Make sure whatever people want to do. Keep on keeping on. Love your passion, wisdom, and insight. Get well soon, Randy. Thanks, Rick and Hank. Love you guys. We need VV NFTs to exist outside of its closed ecosystem. That'll happen eventually, even if not with all IPs at once. It'll happen with a few to start. I don't know when though. Just the llama that came out today. Don't get wrecked. Ugh. I don't really like a lot of meme coins. Overpriced images loosely tied to the blockchain. Oh, geez. And we'll have website and take them to a cold wallet or another marketplace because the blockchain took us before. Serenity Shield that came out in DEC, which is decentralized storage. They've won some awards as well. Oh, very nice. Glad to see people winning awards. You have to eat and take care of yourself. Make yourself a soup. What if I told you that I don't know how to make soup? Listen, I've already accepted my fate. I ain't living a long time. Fufu token is said to do well for Chinese New Year. People can get right. I didn't see your Jordan Riz comment. Commented again, please. So people can get their wallets drained. Yeah, that's true. People don't want that. Meow. Was that big guy? What'd you say about Jordan Riz? Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, man, knowing how to own your crypto wallet is crypto. Well, yeah, but if you want the masses aren't going to care or know about crypto. They're just going to want to be safe. Like, you know how many old people I see that can't use a fucking ATM, that have to go online at the bank and be like, oh, can I withdraw $20? And can I go and deposit this check? You know how many old people cannot use an ATM? You think they're going to go and put their stuff on personal cold wallets? Get the fudge out of here. They're not doing that. I have both. I'm okay with it. I own vaults as well. Meow meow. Which is overpriced. Well, again, it's not just a picture of it. It's a high-end 3D digital asset that you can use and play with in AR and VR. And first appearance of Spider-Man on the blockchain. You're not getting that anywhere else. I'm coming on the show every week telling people to buy OMI and how they would buy multiple exotic cars, and was at sometime dumping 100 million. Yeah, he did. He dumped like 120 million actually. He had 220 million. He now only has 100 million. He dumped a lot. We just close for now. If you don't like it, don't buy it. Agreed. Oh god, I'm going down. Now, you're not a collector. Haven't been able to collect for decades. Vivi came along and fixed it. Now I have close to 500 collectibles. It fixes a problem that many have. Agreed. 100,000%. Regardless, I own a lot of NFTs, tens of thousands on other platforms and in my vaults. I'm not worried about one platform when I'm in many others. Hold my own. The portfolio is putting your risk in the NFT space. Watch a lot of people get drained. Agreed. Aaron, God, I'm dying. Exactly. I love Spider-Man. I don't own any physical because I can't. I do have a bunch on Vivi. They're disrupting the collectibles market. I just can't. Yeah, most people can't see it. Most of my portfolio is real estate, crypto, and NFTs. Mine account 15 20%. Nice. Bill, do you drive a car? I know I've seen a lot of people get into car accidents. Maybe we shouldn't have cars. Vivi, though, the premise of value based on owning the first licensed images on the blockchain. Whole reason why that's valuable is because of what blockchain represents. No, not necessarily. I mean, first appearances in general have nothing to do with blockchain. It started with comics and went to baseball cards and Pokemon cards. First appearance really doesn't have much to do with blockchain. People are just using blockchain as a conduit, saying, "Oh, it's a first appearance." I did answer already. Haha. These corporations don't want to see their IP stolen. Yeah, I mean, Disney is likely not going to they're not going to want their IP on OpenSea when OpenSea also has these fake Steamboat Willie things. They're not going to want it shoulder to shoulder with them. Give them a little while, they'll go. Don't disagree, but appreciate you. Give them a thumbs up. Yeah, smash that like button. That'd be super great. Then first on blockchain, the IP is just being over careful. Agreed. 100%. See how it all plays out. Yes, we all have some houses. The previous all-time high was when sales was half what it is now. No, it wasn't. Not only that, the big burns are a major part of the vision. Fast forward several years, nothing. Oh no, it'll easily get back to all-time high. It'll 100% surpass all-time high. No doubt about that. Look, not hating. Love that cash flow. Yeah. Love Stacker. Dot profit hit. Yeah, dot profit's number one of everything. Eve was the first digital on VV, if I'm correct. Should do numbers in the future if good communication and collectors come in. I hope so. Digital Club's a lot of people who want to collect physicals for various reasons, space, shipping, etc., to collect what they like. Agreed. Randy, Eve was high flyer back in the day. I paid almost 2,000 gems for known two. Damn. It's a lot. McCade is actually a goodbye. Still early. It's only up 160% from lows. $20 million market cap. With a diluted supply of 2 billion. 22 million burned already. It's been out since May, I believe. I hope people make money. I just don't know if they will. Good points. All right, I think that's the last of the. I think that's the last of everything. Just let me go and Alex retweeting. All right, that doesn't matter. You go down, I'm going down too. Alex, go insane. All right, Alex is being weird and reposting a lot of stuff that has nothing to do with Vivi. But whatever. Canada love from Gary. I love the Canadian love. Okay, so that would be viral. The Fam Bam doing a I'll leave Randy alone chat. I thought that was great. I'll leave Randy alone video. Kathy Wood says gold was not the only commodity to soar after regulators approved the gold ETF. In fact, gold underperformed many other commodities. The Fed stoked broad-based commodity inflation by easing aggressively in response to the implosion of long-term capital management in 1998. Good point. Kathy Wood retweeting Altcoin Daily. Good stuff. Oh, shoot. VV500 2024. Let us go, Metaverse Life. Let's get that bread. Get it. I always love that. Fema was so funny. Squirt gun hit her out, dude. She's hilarious. I love her. Dude, there are so many people in here that are funny that nobody knows about. Brittany Kahn, really funny. Sparky is awesome. When all of Randy's angels, they're all, Eva, Fam Bam, Wendy. Everyone is so they're funny. They're great people. I love hanging out with them. Technical levels include the collection of comics or both. Well, they're separate. The vault values are separate when you go to the collectibles versus comics. Technical levels, other things. No, I'm not selling them in Q2. If nothing happens by the end of Q2, I'll sell them in Q3. What are you buying? Well, a good 25% of it at least will go into OMI, depending on what it is. I mean, if OMI hasn't pumped at all on the same prices, half of it might go into OMI. But I do like Definity. I do like Flow. I do like Bump. I do like a bunch of those things. So I think those are probably going to be where I go. Depending, I mean, if they've all done like a 5x by now, I'll find other things. But those are the things I'm looking at. OMI for sure, of course. You can just go to Stacker. If you have a Twitter, you should be able to get it, no problem. So I'll show you real quick. You go down, go down to. So if you just go to Stacker World over on the X, Stacker World will go and show you stacker.world. You can go there on the Twitter and click that, and you just connect your Twitter, connect your X to it. It'll be fine. You'll get it there. Randy is a true warrior. I'm trying. We'll see. Cubic did you? Oh, good. I hope it does. I mean, I try. I'm not gonna be I don't know. I'm not gonna be forever. Just maybe the next year and a half. We'll see. Told you about Flow 6 months ago after Crypto's launch and Pinnacle Future launch, both on Flow. Glad to hear there's a chance you diversify in something. Yeah. Again, we'll see what happens in 5 months, 6 months. Love your conviction, NRB, APB Bulldogs. OMI holders will be the ones laughing soon. Again, VV and Nakomi could roll out everything and the price could not pump. We might just have to wait for the narrative to change. We'll see. Stand up for you believe in. Yeah. I mean, it's silly to not buy OMI, in my opinion. Not financial advice. It's silly to to think that Vivi and Omi's done for and they're gonna miss. Like, it doesn't matter. We'll get this bread. But again, just my opinion. I would like to thank you all for coming here. I'll go for another 15 seconds because what I'm doing. I'm very tired. Anyway, guys, that'll be it for me. Please comment, like, and subscribe. I'm going for 2.5 hours. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashie. Bye-bye. Dashie, I love you. Future looks bright. I hope I can sleep tonight. We'll see. Love you guys. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow.